Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome back to the Amateur Otaku. The show, the live stream, the moment, the fire, the dog lovers. And yeah, I said dog because this is a very hairy and furry episode because we're coming back with Spy Family. Spy Family Core 2 started yesterday. I'm so excited to be back watching The Forgers. Guys, are you guys excited to talk about Spy Family again?
My guy, this episode was elegant.
Elegant!
Your Forgers, please step on me.
Oh my god. I'm surprised Isaac has not passed out by getting Miriko and Yor on the same day.
The best part of waking up is Forgers coming back. Forgers. I'm sorry, that's not coffee. But that's how hype I am, like coffee, because Forgers. Okay, that was really bad.
You have no idea, Leon. You have no idea.
I know, for some reason, thighs are coming back. So, guys, Spy Family Core 2 Season 1 comes back with a bang. An awesome opening. Personally, I prefer the opening of the first core, but the ending of this second core is phenomenal. I love the imagery, the metaphor, the similes. There's a lot of conversation there, and I'm very, very, very excited about that. So, I love Spy Family, and I think the biggest thing I can say about this particular episode, 13, Project Apple, I don't have a specific moment. It's towards the end, that would be my favorite moment. But the biggest thing, guys, that I felt coming back to this is that I remember how much I love these characters. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, it's a great return to the world of Spy X Family, right? Like I remember you and Isaac did the bulk of the recaps bi-weekly last season. Jamie, Isaac, and I did the season or the Core 1 recap. And we were really just kind of talking about how this series made us fall in love with this family, with these characters in such a short amount of time. And it's one of those things where, yeah, the 3-month layoff wasn't that long, but once we get back into this episode, once you see the intro, I'm just like, yeah, it's good to be back. I forgot how much I miss this show, how much I love this show. This episode, in my opinion, was really fun. I don't think it's my favorite by any means of Spy Family, but it's just a great return. Especially the dog is kind of a cliffhanger from last core.
Yeah.
I keep trying to say season. I really hate how they kind of broke up the terms here. But yeah, it's just really great to return to Spy Family. Anya needs to earn her Stella. She wanted a dog as a prize. We just get right into things. I love how the intro focuses a lot on Yor, whereas the first intro focused a lot on Lloyd. It kind of feels like the family dynamics are getting a lot more structure and settling down as they get more comfortable with each other. And maybe we can finally get some Yor stories. That's going to get Isaac really jazzed.
Yep. Isaac, this episode, this back to form, you're the only one that's ahead to all of us in terms of the manga. So you've loved Spy Family for a great amount of time. But
well, I'm collecting it alongside 13 or 14 other manga. So
yeah. So at this point, what are your thoughts about this particular episode? Is it better than what you read? Are you excited for what's coming? That you know it's coming? What are your thoughts about the return?
It's continued to be an amazing adaptation, and you guys are gonna love this doggy. I'm just gonna say that one. that thing,
That's Mr. Dog to you, okay? I love
that dog is awesome. Just gonna say that.
Yes, I love.
Adios, bro. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, brother. I love how that dog is kind of, because it's a family-oriented show, right? Or at least it's about this family, right? I love how this particular dog screams Beethoven. Does that make, you know what I mean? Like the type of dog that just ruins or just rules the family in one way, shape, or form. I love how they set up this Anya Mr. Dog duo. I am so excited about that. Like I can't wait for Avengers because they kind of like they're like two kids. Like they're both trying to be amazing, but they're both like, one's a dog and one's a kid. So it's like I love how they take themselves they take themselves very seriously. And then things happen like when Anya is like, "We're gonna save the day, we're gonna save the day," and the dog is just going in circles. and Anya's like, it was awesome.
Not just, like that's a great moment, but I love how Lloyd is trying to get away from his mission and Anya's just like, Dad needs to shit. It takes a very long time. And it's just like that was so unexpected and so funny.
Yes.
It's just like, God, I love Anya so much. And again, as much as I love these characters, they're all idiots. Because Lloyd, he's just like, nice save. Why is she saving you, Lloyd? Have you ever thought about that? She's done this multiple times for you now.
Yep. And that's the beauty about the show, is that all of them are so focused in hiding their real selves because they're convinced that the lie of who they that the lie that they choose to live is the key to the happiness that they're experiencing. Which again, it's a great proposition for great comedy and great drama. Like I kind of want to see where the story goes once the veil and everything's revealed, right? Because I love how that's lingering with every single episode. But the way the story develops with that thesis of these two identities clashing with each other, what they're hiding, what they're not saying, and how that feels for comedy. I love how it's serious and comedic and amazing at the same time. Like the direction is still on point. The pacing is still on point. Every character is highlighted in their strong suits. But going back to the idea of them being convinced of their lie, like Lloyd is so focused on not telling people that he's a spy that he's not paying attention to things that are in his face, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I also love, this is a holdover from the previous Cour. I love how the work of a spy is never done, right? Like his mission, Project Strix, is to have this family get Anya to befriend Damien Desmond so they can go after Donovan Desmond. But that doesn't mean that's his only mission. And he has to start taking on new missions, which I think is just a really cool way to get Lloyd, one, away from Yor and Anya so they can start having their own stories. Yes. But also, I'm excited to see what that means and where we're going to take Lloyd as a character and kind of see where he goes on these solo adventures. I think it's a really cool idea.
I love that you brought that up because the idea of exploring different pairings of characters, right? And making them the center of it. I spoke that some of the best episodes of the previous Cour were those moments of Anya and Yor together. And now we have Anya and the dog that was just introduced, and it's still awesome. But also it kind of shows how Twilight's reality, it maybe is going to start playing with the idea of the family he's trying to build, right? So I want to see how that plays out. Now, can we talk about how Yor freaks out, and every time she freaks out, her answer is, "Okay, I know how to be an assassin, so I'm just gonna do this." And I don't care where I am. Like, there's people everywhere in this dog shelter, and nobody sees her jump to the roof in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, she just scales up the wall. Like, she just walked up the wall like she's in Naruto. It was so funny.
Yes.
And I love how immediately she surveys, and she's just like, she's clearly not here. Like, in an instant, she surveyed the entire area.
Yep.
I just think Yor is so great. She's such a fun character.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really like I'm with you that the first intro is the best intro, but I'm really glad it focused on Yor because I'm hoping that means we get more stories involving her because a lot of the beginning because again the story is mainly told from Anya and Twilight's point of view. But I do want to start having more assassin adventures with Yor and kind of balance it 33% across all of the characters because they're all so entertaining. They're all so strong. I just, again, love how, like you said, as soon as she freaks out, she goes into Black Widow mode. Like all
Yep.
logic, all basic logic goes out the window. It's
Yeah.
just like, okay, who do I need to kill? What do I need to do
Yep.
to find my daughter?
And it's funny you say that because the funny thing about her is that the way she's always solved problems is by murdering people. Like, because that's how she got money for her and her brother to survive. That's how she was able to take care of her family. So everything she knows about dealing with stuff is killing people or putting those skills to the test. So I love how the family unit aspect of the show is her biggest challenge, not being the badass character she is. Because the whole thing with her is the idea that she doesn't fit in. Because the reason she decides to go with Lloyd, as opposed to apart from the fact that she kind of likes the dynamic that they have, is because she wants to make expectations of her from society. She wants to eliminate that pressure, right? She's not doing it because she wants it. So how that transitions to her wanting a family, I just that's the story that I want to see from Yor. Which I agree, I want more time with Yor.
No comment.
So you just come out of nowhere, say no comment, and then our minds are going, this best.
I mean, you did say you want to spend more time with Yor, so Isaac's probably just a little jealous.
No. I can't blame him. So
Wow.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Isaac.
In this thirsty edition of the Amateur Otaku.
This has been a thirsty week, and I fear it's
Yes.
not going to get any better. We had the weird My Hero Academia manga chapter. We had Mirko in the anime. We have Yor in this episode, guys.
that
I'm
was
sorry.
that episode was for another reason, and not for in a good way.
I mean, we weren't thirsty, but somebody was definitely thirsty. I'll say that much.
Not me, at least.
What's yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah.
So, I guess I want to ask, like, Brandon, what are your thoughts on this new dog, right? Because whenever you introduce a new dynamic to a story, a part of me always gets a little scared because you don't want to break the formula.
Right.
And I know we talked about how in this episode it mainly works, but do you think it's something that'll continue to work in this new dynamic?
So I love that you mentioned the idea of formula, because what's the formula of so we can talk about the formula of the show as the family unit and that lie and deceit, but also that enjoyment and growth, right? Yeah. As the formula. But when you go beyond that, the formula of the show is by presenting these fascinating characters, but also putting their flaws first. Like Yor is this crazy killing skilled assassin that has no social skills whatsoever and doesn't know what to do to survive in the regular world, right? Anya is this cute girl that's curious, but she's been rejected by everybody because she can read everyone's thoughts. So what does she do in a world where she can read everyone's thoughts, right? That's the dynamic. With Twilight, he doesn't know what it is to have a family. So he is tasked to build a family when he doesn't know what that looks like, right? Because he was an orphan and all that, right? So I love the fact that when we're introduced to this dog, the first thing we're introduced with is how amazing he is, but he's a freaking coward. But like, I love how we don't only just see him as this awesome dog, but we also see that he's still a dog that understands that he can be hurt, but he doesn't want to get hurt. You know what I mean? So in that sense, the formula is still there. Like it's all about this group of tragic, flawed characters finding family and a home with themselves. You know, where they can accept themselves. And also I love like going back to, you kind of see a lot of that in the ending is
Yeah.
you see a bunch of different characters. We see Yor's brother. We see a female character that we haven't met before. But these are all characters. So this family is composed of broken people that together they find ways to complete each other by opening up in one way, shape, or form. And because of the roles that each of them have, they find ways of opening up with each other without telling the truth anyway. So that finds it very interesting. And also the dynamic that only Anya really kind of understands the dog because she has telepathy and that allows her to do it. So it kind of has that corner. So I don't know. I think that it will work because of the presentation and how close to the entry point for every single character it's been. Because when we met Yor, we met both sides of her, not just the killer side. You know what I mean? So every time they present, when we met Yor's brother, we met the super officer, and then we met the guy that loved his sister way too that much. So it's like we see, and the funny thing is that every other character that we meet, apart from Desmond, maybe, none of them have this dual identity or presentation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I like how that particular formula is part of the thesis of the show. So as long as we find a way to make it creative for each new character that's introduced, I think it can work.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree there. Isaac can't really speak to that idea because he already knows. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how the dog plays off of the parents, because you're right. Anya can somewhat understand the dog because of the telepathy. But one, that doesn't mean the dog necessarily understands Anya, which I think is
True.
a nice wrinkle there.
Yep.
So, but also, will this dog affect Yor and Lloyd in any way, because they can't communicate with it like Anya can, or understand it like Anya can. But will this dog like see some of Twilight's missions and end up accidentally interfering, or any crazy shenanigans like that? So I'm excited to see how they kind of approach it.
Now, Isaac, what are your thoughts without being yourself? No, I'm kidding. What are your thoughts?
By being myself, or what do you exactly mean that? Not being an asshole or something? But
No.
anyway.
Oh my God, no. By what I meant is by simply not saying no comment because you know everything.
Yeah,
Like-
well, no comment about that. But
Proceeds to do it anyway. Gotta love him.
Yes, no choice.
Anyway, but like I said earlier in the beginning, without going into too many spoilers, if you like this dog now, you will love him later. And they managed to introduce him perfectly in this episode, will I add?
Nice. See, Isaac, at the end of the day, you do the right thing and you make us happy.
No comment.
That's what. Damn it, Isaac.
You walked into that one, man. You did that to yourself.
I did do that. So, I mean, we've talked about the episode. I mean, I love how Spy Family is so awesome that we really haven't even talked about the synopsis of what happens in the episode, because we just enjoy talking about these characters.
It's a pretty basic premise when you think about it.
Yeah, they got Lloyd. And also speaks of good writing, because even though all the characters are in different areas doing different things, the dog or at least the main plot unites them in one way, shape, or form, and it fits to all the characters, right? The dog is a central figure. They're trying to find a dog. Dog is part of the whole thing that they're doing with the bomb and assassination. Lloyd is trying to stop the assassination. Anya sees the dog, so goes right by it. Everything goes wrong. It's great. So episode is good. I do want to see how it ends up. It was a pretty cool cliffhanger. And to start the conversation of favorite moments, I'm going to say mine. The last moment of the episode where Yor makes this person or transforms this person into a human pinball. That was so awesome.
She's a master of shoot style.
Yes. No, but the craziest thing is then she goes for the kicker, the final line. She is too young to be married off. And you're like, Yor is nuts. Like, does Yor spend her days just watching reality television? Is that what she does every single day?
No, but like I love how we introduce that idea. Like we see her watching the news and she gets that, she starts panicking and she's like, oh no, they probably kidnapped her to marry her. And it's like she just sticks with it. She never comes off of that idea of like, well, no, it can't be that. It's just like, nope, she made up her mind. That's what's happening. Yep. She's not going to let Anya get married at the age of 5, technically 6. She's lying, but yeah.
Yes.
It's so great. Like, okay, if we're talking about favorite moments, mine has to be Anya covering for Lloyd because it just made me fall out of my chair laughing because it was so unexpected.
Yes.
And again, gotta wait for Crunchy to dub these things because I know the dub is going to just make me laugh even harder.
Because you're going to hear the word shit. That's why.
Yeah. From tiny little Anya. It's going to just make it even funnier.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, I think this episode, it's hard for me to choose a favorite moment because it's just so strong. And I love, because you were mentioning the plot of this episode, and we have the dog bombs, which is, again, weird. But I love how Anya sees this dog who clearly has an owner, but Anya is a small child, so she completely ignores that fact and goes to get the dog anyway. And it's like, it's moments like that where, as smart as Anya is, she's still a little kid. She sees a dog, she's just going to go to the dog.
Yep.
Even though the dog is not for sale, the dog is being walked by a human being. There's no reason for her to go up to it, and she gets herself in trouble because she is a small child with telepathy.
There is a reason why she goes there other than plot points. I'm just gonna say that.
No comment.
Hey! So Isaac, favorite moment.
I'm so proud of Mike.
So, favorite moment of episode 13 of Spy Family.
You're pinballing that guy.
Yes.
I've never been so jealous in my life.
It's all in the thighs. So, guys, I think we've set our fill on Spy Family. What do y'all think?
I'd say so. It was a fun episode. Can't wait for episode 14.
Yes. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the Amateur Otaku live stream. We were so excited to bring this new version of the Amateur Otaku. If you have topics or questions for us, make sure you send it to us. Send it to our Twitter feed at Amateur Otaku Pod. A lot of people don't know this, but we also have an email. It's amateurtakurtf@gmail.com. I'll check it from time to time. If I see something there, I'll bring it over. But if you love what we do, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you click on that bell for notifications so you do not miss any single episode of the Amateur Otaku podcast. If you want to listen to us in podcast form, make sure you find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever podcasts are found, except Podbean for some reason. But we are available on all podcast formats because that's what the Amateur Otaku does, speak awesome anime. Next Sunday, we'll pick up our conversation with episode 115, is it, of My Hero Academia, and episode 14 of Spy Family. We will see you next time. If you need to find me, I'm Brandon Alvarado, and you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52. Mike Thomas, where can people find you?
You can find me at Novice Cinephile on Twitter, on YouTube at youtube.com/Novice Cinephile. You can also find our other podcast, the movie podcast, The Chatter After. It's a great bi-weekly series. We're reviewing everything that we love to talk about in the world of movies, television, even video games, because we did cover The Last of Us. So pretty much everything there.
We did
Make
the
sure you
thing.
check it out. We did the thing. You have no idea what loss is.
Well done. Nice
That's
delivery.
my Joel. That's my Joel.
Yes, yes. Isaac, if people wanted to find you, where can they find you in the webs?
Well, you can find my work at Woven Entertainment, and you can find me at Emblemaniac on Twitter.
So, guys, stay awesome. Keep watching anime. And thank you for joining us at the Amateur Otaku. We will see you next time. Peace.
Well, first of